Hi there and welcome to La Vida Victoria. If you're new to my channel, thank you for joining. I have been missing in action for a while, but I am back and hopefully you will like my new style of content. So today we're diving into the incredible journey of motherhood, specifically for those balancing the joys and challenges of having a toddler and a baby. I've compiled 10 practical tips to help you navigate this exciting and sometimes chaotic chapter of life. So hello and welcome, beautiful mamas. And I say beautiful because motherhood is such a transformative experience, and I believe it empowers every woman who becomes a mother. It makes them more beautiful inside and out. We give so much of ourselves to our children and our family, and it's the best way that I've learned how to be less selfish in life. And the joys, there's just so many joys in raising children. But it is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. And we can all learn from each other here. So I am no expert, but I do feel like I've gained some experience this year. So I have two boys. One is 2 years old and 8 months, almost 3. And then my baby is now 8 months old. So I've, for 8 months, had 2 children. And wow, what a roller coaster. But it's so great. It's so great. And I've learned so many things, and hopefully I can share some tips for you that might help you out. Also, feel free to leave additional comments and ideas that you might have or what's helped you, and we can all learn from each other here. So tip number 1, establishing a routine. So important. Tip number 1 is all about establishing a routine. A consistent daily schedule provides predictability for your little ones, creating a sense of security. It helps manage your day more efficiently and minimizes surprises, making life smoother for everyone. From set meal times to designated play periods, routines set the stage for a well-organized household. We have a consistent routine every single day. It does not change, except for if we have friends and family visiting, which is not very often. And then, so the routine, there's room for play in it because we have lots of play time because, as you know, play is the work of the child. So we have several times throughout the day that we can substitute in different areas of playtime, being like maybe outside on a walk or the playground. Also Sundays we go to church and they go to the church nursery there. And then of course I have to do grocery shopping, but so those kind of squeeze in, but I try to keep all the wake times the same and the nap times the same if possible. So yeah, our routine is wake, this is a very abbreviated version, many details to each step. I have things thoroughly set in stone now, which makes, for example, bedtime. We have our nighttime routine. And Dean, my toddler, here he is, he knows exactly what's coming, so he doesn't fight bedtime anymore. He knows he will hop into his bed willingly, and we don't have any issues with going down. I know every child is different, so I could just be lucky with him who knows what happens with my baby, Eddie. So yeah, so for example, our bedtime is always as follows in the same order and everything. So with him, we put on his PJs, we brush teeth, we pick a book for Dad to read, then we pick a book for me to read, we turn on the sound machine, turn off the light, he hops into bed, I tuck him in, I sing him Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and another little lullaby, I kiss him, tell him good night, say our goodbyes. And this whole time the baby has been in his room, and then I take the baby and do his bedtime with putting him in his PJs and his sleep sack, turn on the sound machine, and then I rock and nurse him to sleep, and I place him in his crib with his passy. And that is working out wonderfully. Now Eddie, my baby, does wake up maybe a couple times in the night to be fed, but then he goes right back down. So that's very helpful. And our consistent daily routine is basically wake up, breakfast, playtime, playground. We have a really nice community one, so we like to walk there, weather permitting. Then it's lunchtime, more playtime, into nap time, playtime, walk outside, dinner time, bath, and bedtime. And it sounds like there's a lot of playtime in there, but there is, because we have different zones of the house also that we do playtime in. Yes. So that was tip number 1. Yeah. So tip number 2, it's a big one, and it's probably my hardest one because I don't have a lot of it around, is accepting help. Tip number 2, game changer, accepting help. Parenting is not meant to be a solo journey. Whether it's a friend, a family member, neighbor, welcoming support can be a game changer. Discuss with your support system specific tasks that could ease your load. Remember, it's okay to lean on others. You're not alone in this adventure, although we feel like it, especially because nowadays in our culture and our society, we don't have the village that people had 50 years ago. So if both of them need attention at the same time, and it's nighttime and my husband's home from work, he will take one of them, so I can focus one-on-one with the one that is probably throwing a tantrum or just needs me as the primary caregiver. But yes, it's so hard out there, myself included. We don't have family nearby, and we've been in this place for less than a year, so I'm still making friends. And then even mom friends, like, love them, but everyone's so busy, and we all have our own schedules and our strict, consistent schedules that we stick to. So it's not like when you were in your 20s, pre-kids, like, hey, come on over, babe. Like, that's not what we do anymore as mothers. But yes, if you can find people to help, I think that's not only good for you to have a moment, but it's also good for the children to be exposed to other caregivers. Yeah, so that is number 2. Okay, tip number 3 is encouraging independent play. Tip number 3 focuses on encouraging independent play for your toddler. It's more than keeping them occupied. It's about fostering creativity and self-reliance. Creating a safe play area with age-appropriate toys allows your toddler to explore their world on their terms. This not only gives you moments to attend to the baby, but also nurtures a sense of autonomy in your toddler. So this basically involves a lot of open-ended toys. Our favorites around here for him are blocks, magnet tiles, any kind of figurines. So he loves dinosaurs. He has like a farm barn thingy with animals, the Fisher-Price animals in the barn. He's not into dolls, but I know any child can be into dolls, and yeah, he's just not very nurturing with them. So he does have stuffed animals, but he more tosses them around and then starts laughing. So at least he has a good time with them. He loves cars, obsessed. Like currently he has this thing right here that he's playing with. So he's always looking at the wheels and everything. Also crafty stuff. He's still a little on the young side. But we have just started doing Play-Doh, where I can leave him there basically when I cook dinner or something. But it has a bunch of molds and tools. And then, also if you get little figurines, like little horsies and things like that, they like to put them in the Play-Doh and see how it squishes out. And it's just another sensory thing that keeps him busy. So yeah, and then, you know, on the chalkboard, crayons, he's not a big drawer yet. But one thing that he does love that he got for Christmas was a Tony box. And so it's basically screen-free entertainment. So they're figures that you put on a little sound box, and it It's so great. It plays songs and stories depending on the kind of figure that you buy, but they have so many different kinds. And so he usually has that on in the background, and even in the morning when he wakes up before the rest of us, he's an early bird, he'll just turn on his Tony box in his room and he might start playing with his toys. So that's pretty great because it lets me sleep in a little bit longer. So yeah, he's actually getting really good with independent play. All right, tip number 4 is create a toddler-friendly space, someplace you can leave them completely safe. So tip number 4 delves into creating a toddler-friendly space. Having a designated play area with engaging toys and activities is a game changer. That's him screeching. You know if you have a toddler. The space not only keeps your toddler entertained, but also safe, allowing you to tend to your baby's needs with confidence. It's like creating a little kingdom of imagination tailored to your toddler's delight. So we have several different spaces that I can put him in. We have the playroom, which is kind of in the middle of the house. So it's connected to the kitchen. It's kind of open concept-ish, this house. So I can put him there, and he has so much stuff there that he will stay there. And his room is another safe place. And the playroom has all the big stuff, like the climbing things. He has a pickler triangle with the arch and the ramp that he can climb on. He has the Fisher Price slide that all the toddlers love. And then, it's just a big open area, so he can really spread out his independent play toys that I had just previously mentioned. So that works out really great. Tip number 5, meal planning. Tip number 5 revolves around meal planning. As a mom with a toddler and a baby, time is of the essence. Planning and preparing meals in advance can save you time and ensure everyone in the family gets nutritious food. Involving your toddler in simple meal prep activities not only keeps them engaged, but also fosters a sense of togetherness. So for us, we use a learning tower in the kitchen. He doesn't always help prepare, but he likes to watch. It also, meal planning helps us achieve our fitness goals. My husband is really into weightlifting, and he's in a cut right now. So actually we have very simple meals. We cook several meals for several nights and in a row. And so then we can just kind of go and take it out of the fridge and reheat it. Whole foods, basic foods like a meat, a potato, a starch, and then a vegetable. So I might make a few things fresh, some of the sides, but like the meat's already cooked, so it takes 10 minutes to prepare dinner now instead of like making specific meals every night of the week, and you're spending like a half hour to 45 minutes in the kitchen. And we're not doing that anymore, and it's saving time and making bedtime a lot easier because we can get to it sooner. So and then I make my own baby food using a baby food maker, and it's actually way cheaper if you do this. People, swear by those little pouches and everything, but those really add up, and they have fillers and stuff in there. So if you just buy, apples, the maker will steam it for you, and then you blend it all up and it makes purees. So we're not doing baby-led weaning because I'm a little nervous about choking hazards and stuff, and because I have now not just one baby to focus on, I have 2. I'm usually multitasking doing stuff. I don't want to have to focus so intently on just the baby eating foods that could make him choke. So for now, I'm just doing purees, and he hates food anyways. And yes, it's homemade healthy food, but I've tasted it and it doesn't taste bad. So I know that it's okay. It's pure ingredients. It's better for him. I just have to stick to it. And so far, he kind of likes peas and carrots. And we tried a lot of single foods. Now I'm going to start blending some together. Tonight we're going to try apple and banana together. Surprisingly, he didn't like peach. Most babies love peach. Anyways, it's a good idea to prep your food ahead of time. And then like with the baby foods, I freeze them. I make a big jar of it in the little baby blender, and then I pour them into little silicone molds that you can put in the freezer, and then you pop them out whenever, you know, like a day before you want to use them. And that's what I'm doing now to make the blends. And so then I just put them in another container and it's already ready to go, so I don't have to like sit there and make fresh baby food for every meal. No, you do a massive thing of carrots and then a thing of green beans and whatever, and then you can just pick and choose what you want later on because it's all right there already prepared for you in the fridge. Okay, tip number 6, prioritize self-care. Tip number 6 is all about you prioritizing self-care. Taking care of yourself is not a luxury, but a necessity. Whether it's a short break, a mindful moment, or a small indulgence, finding time for your self-care is crucial for your well-being. A happy and rejuvenated mom is better equipped to handle the joys and challenges of motherhood. So my list is endless for self-care ideas, but I do try to rotate some things and do different things every night, nap time or after the kids go to bed. So for like my physical well-being, I like to do yoga, or I did suffer from diastasis recti. So I joined an ab rehab program that I'm almost finished, but then you can kind of keep doing it. And it's been really good. I started with a 4-finger ab separation, and now I'm down to 2, 1.5-ish, 2. And it's been probably like 4 months, so it's a long time, but I don't do it every day. So it does take longer to get through the program. But it's called Nancy Anderson Ab Rehab birthrecoverycenter.com, I think. So highly recommend that. It's only like usually a half hour a day, and they do have several different videos, like 3 or 2 videos, so you can break it up into like 10 or 15 minute chunks as well, which is very helpful with little ones, because you know you don't get a half hour to yourself unless they're asleep or in their rooms. Like my baby is right here playing at my feet right now. So that's what I do for my physical well-being. Then for like my spa moment, skin rejuvenation, big fan of red light therapy, and I got one of those red light therapy masks by Evertone. It also has the neck thing. I wouldn't say it's super relaxing, but I know that it's helping my face, and it makes me feel like I'm doing what I can to combat the, aging that is on me. I am a mother with a toddler and a baby in her 40s, so early 40s, but still 40s. You have to take care of yourself and do the things that make you feel like you're taking a moment for yourself, whatever your needs are. Also, wine and TV, everybody loves that. Reading on my Kindle. My husband's a gamer, so recently I haven't played video games in like over 2 years, basically since I had Dean, my first. But now that Eddie is consistent with his bedtime, I'm actually finding it that I can give myself an hour of gaming with him at night. And that helps our relationship because we're doing something together, and it's something that's not taxing on my body. I'm sitting on the computer and we're talking to each other, and so that's pretty fun. So we've been playing some games. We're big nerds. If you know what WoW is, that's what we're playing right now. Okay. Let's see. And then always have some time at the end of the night with your hubby and you to connect, share stories about each other's day, and relax. And that's just, you got to keep your relationship alive, and also have that adult time talking to somebody else who's not a child, that you're not singing nursery rhymes or speaking, very simply with. You can talk about current events and big boy, big girl stuff. So that's fun. And that is self-care. Tip number 7 is to use baby gear wisely. Tip number 7, explores the world of baby gear. From stroller wagons to baby carriers, these tools are designed to make your life easier. When used wisely, they become your allies in navigating outings and daily tasks with both children. Discover how the right baby gear can turn seemingly daunting tasks into enjoyable adventures. With both, I use a stroller wagon with a car seat adapter. So I will be taking that car seat adapter out once Edward is fully sitting up all the time without any help. He can sit up, but he does fall over still sometimes. So I just want to make sure he's safe in there. And then they'll play in there together and it'll just be wonderful. And the wagons are great because you can throw all sorts of other things in there and your stuff. And we have the Jeep wagon stroller, which is super fancy. It has all the bells and whistles, extra like little compartments to put everything in, little shade canopy, even like little rain protector, coolers. Yeah, so that thing's great, but it is big, so you can't take it everywhere. And frustratingly enough, you're not supposed to bring it to Disneyland, so that was a bummer. So then I have 2 different regular strollers for if I'm using just one in the stroller. So I've got my big, kind of bulky jogging stroller, but it has the all-terrain tires. So if I'm going like in a park or somewhere with grass and all that, I'll use that. And then I have my tiny little, just got it, umbrella stroller, gift from my mother-in-law, thank you. And it's super helpful inside. So it doesn't have like the all-terrain wheels, but it's great for paved surfaces, inside buildings, whatnot, like if you're going to doctors or a restaurant or someplace where you don't want to take up a whole bunch of space. And then it folds up really easily. So that actually will be good for Disneyland too. Next time we go, maybe the end of the year. So those are my favorite strollers. Then the baby gear, which I don't really put him in the baby carrier anymore, the wearable carrier, but I did use the Boppy Comfy Chic baby carrier, and it has like yoga pants material on it. So it's comfy and it's structured. So like the wrapping kind, I could never like really figure that out. And I didn't feel like the baby was secure, and then all this fabric was like on his face and he couldn't breathe, and it felt like he could fall out. But the structured ones I think are super great. So I recommend the Boppy. He uses the Love Every Play Gym every day. There's lots of things on it for them to be excited on the mat and then overhead. Then I have a sit-in walker activity station. That's just another place I can put him that I don't have to worry about him like running too far away or something, because now he's army crawling and he gets really fast, and if I put him down one area of the room, he could be on the other side. So we are there. He doesn't love it so much, but my firstborn loved the Baby Bjorn bouncer. He would just kick in there and bounce and bounce and bounce. I put him in there so much, but I still can't get Eddie to love it, but it was a must-have with my first. Then I keep a basket of baby toys in like all the rooms that we hang out in. So in my room in here, I have one of my dresser drawers just so I can put it away, not have to look at it when he's not in here. Because this is my sanctuary, my adult space. But yeah, I have a basket in here, and then I can take that stuff to my master bath when I'm getting ready in the morning. Then there's a section in the playroom, and a section, obviously his room has all his toys, and then there's a little tiny basket in the living room as well. And it's just like, a teether, a ball, little sensory items for them to crinkle and squish and be entertained with. And but he is now at the age where just rolling around is so much fun. So tip number 8, coordinate nap times. This is my favorite tip, because if you get it right, then you get your me time. It's so wonderful. So Sinking those precious moments of rest can provide you with a well-deserved break or a chance to tackle household tasks. Discover the benefits of lining the sleep schedules of your toddler and baby, creating a harmonious rhythm that benefits the entire household. So I won't put my toddler down for a nap until the baby falls asleep, since he isn't consistent yet. But I know it'll be in the afternoon sometime. Unfortunately, we're only down to one nap now. I'm like, what is that? But it's a long one, so I'll take it. It's usually, it could be around 2 hours, so that's great. Yeah, so that's the time when I have my one and only me time during the day until bedtime. So I will either rest and relax. Maybe I'll do a little bit of my workout or get a task done, but it depends on my mental load and how many tantrums we've had. If I just need to rest too, I'll just rest. So that is tip number 8. Tip number 9 is establishing special time with each child. Tip number 9 highlights the significance of one-on-one time with each child. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, finding moments for individual connection is vital. Explore simple yet meaningful activities that make each child feel valued and loved, reinforcing the unique bond you share with each of them. So with my toddler, I like to read books. That's actually his favorite thing to do. We can set up his train tracks. We can work on Play-Doh together, with the molding and everything. He also has like a little town that we can set up. He has one of those car mats and then like buildings and different cars. And so we'll just play around with that. And then kind of more sporty stuff. He has a basketball hoop. We try to shoot balls in there. Just one-on-one, any kind of his toys, me interacting with him without the baby in the room. And then for baby, I like to get down on his level, nice and low, during his tummy time rolling around. And then I help him sit also over by his crib. That's where we do a lot of our standing practice because he loves to hang onto the rails, and then he just laughs and giggles. And yeah, and then also he has some baby books that I'll take out on the floor and explain, not read everything, but like, they're more like, oh, what are these feelings? Happy and sad. And I'll talk about the stuff on the page. So yeah. And then when he's rolling around too, I sometimes, cause I love yoga and everything. So a lot of stuff you can do with your baby around while you're on the floor. You can just add in some stretches here and there, and eventually you'll get through enough stuff that your body will feel decent by the end of the day. So yeah, and that's number 9. And the final tip number 10, we all have to remember to stay flexible. Tip number 10 is your superpower. Staying flexible. Parenthood is full of surprises, and being adaptable is key. Discover how embracing the unpredictability of parenting with a smile not only eases the stress, but also creates memorable moments in this incredible journey. You may have to have plans to do something and your toddler throws you a curveball. Like somehow I still managed to get to where I wanted to go just a couple days ago. I'll tell you what happened. My toddler, Dean, decided to lock himself in the toilet room of my master bathroom when I was getting ready. And we were getting ready to go to library story time. So yeah. Anyways, I learned how to pick a lock. I was looking for the little keys that are usually above the door frames, but could not find one anywhere. And these door frames are super tall, so I had to take a ladder around all the door frames with the same kind of lock. Didn't find it, but I had a little tiny, I think it's right over. No, I put it up. I had a little tiny screwdriver that I was able to pick the lock and got him out. So that just goes to show that like sometimes you might think something's gonna go another way, and you gotta improvise and stay calm. Motherhood is a challenge You're gonna learn a lot of new things whether you want to or not. But your children are always watching and learning, and we're supposed to model the proper behavior, so it is easier said than done. But trying to remain calm and being flexible, going with the flow, changing your plans a lot if you need to. Like, it's not so important you go to a play date if, he's locked in the bathroom. No, you figure out, okay, well, this is what we're doing now. And then you move on. So I want to thank you guys so much. I hope some of these tips helped you out. Thank you for watching. If you're still here, please like, comment, subscribe. I'm, super new, so I can use all that to help my channel out. So I want to say thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.